We found a way to garden without digging. We're going to use recycled paper bags. This works great in areas where the ground is hard to dig or has reoccurring weeds. This is gardening and decorative arts and a whole lot more at Love for a Country House. We're going to make biodegradable containers that will suppress the weeds and give the new plants a chance to grow in rough places. And the best part is, we won't have to dig. Our temporary bag garden will be like a mini raised bed for as long as it takes to get these plants started. First, we're going to cut a paper grocery bag to be about 4 inches tall. So an easy way to do this is to fold the bottom of the bag in half. Then we're going to cut along this line, which is just above the folded bottom, and that's how we end up with these shoebox-sized bags. And yes, you could use any size paper bags, and you can make them as deep as you need. This grocery bag size, though, works really well for planting small perennials and herbs, and for starting seeds like grass or clover. But today, we're planting on a slope that has lots of erosion, and we're going to be able to build up the soil with these bags at the same time starting a brand new garden and not having to dig. But first, we're going to pull out the taller weeds and the vines. And don't worry if you leave small roots of these weeds behind, because the bags will suppress those. We're also going to leave the leaves under the bags because those will break down into new soil. But you can also clear those away too if you want to, and place your bags directly on the soil. We're going to arrange groups of these bags where we want new plants, and then we're going to add some soil. We go about 2/3 full, but you could fill them up all the way to the top too. And then we add some plants. And then we water. These soil bags are like a sponge, so that these new plants started in the heat of summer will be just fine. And the paper bag will keep the water from being wicked away into the baking soil. So these bags will hold the soil in place for a really long time, and the brown color seems to blend in pretty well. The paper bag will fold over a little to protect the plants from the wind and the sun and some pests too. So we've used bags to start new perennials in many places now. Here's where we started a geranium called Painter's Palette, and this is what the bag looked like the following spring. The paper bag gave this plant a great start, and now it's a big flowering plant. We're so glad we figured this out because we've got a lot of space for new plants and a lot of weeds and poor soil to deal with, but using these bags really helps get a good start to a new garden area. Don't miss our next project at Love for a Country House. Click on the sun logo to subscribe. See you later.